Okay, so Rick and I were talking this morning. We were talking about just last week when we were driving around and we were recording.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about that time at a bathhouse, and
Hey,
down in Orlando.
remember
We were
that time
talking
at a bathhouse?
Yeah, down at a bathhouse. No, but we were talking about other kind of fun trips down to Orlando, and we mentioned Parliament House last week, and Parliament House was this nightclub we went down to forever, and sadly they just closed, this last year. And but I mean, it was kind of like a huge like bar on the gay scene, and not just like at just Orlando. Like people came from all around to go to Parliament House, but they always were great about bringing in people that were performers, or like we saw bands from the 80s there.
Did we really?
Yes.
Who was it?
Expose. And
I cannot believe you remember that.
No, we saw Expose there. And,
oh my God. I've never heard of Expose in like years.
Well, we also, we're about to get a wreck. No, but we also, like, who else did we see? Like, they used to bring in, like, no, they used to bring in a lot of people.
No, I remember,
Yeah, okay, but one of the people that they brought in, and we, like, purposely went down for this show, was Martha Wash. And if you don't know who Martha Wash is, that's a shame.
Educate yourself.
No, seriously. Okay, Martha Wash is, like, she has got one of the most, like, recognizable voices.
So
I love Martha Wash.
Yeah.
I think that Martha Wash is fantastic. And, back in I guess probably in the 70s with the Weather Girls. I think it was in the 70s when It's Raining Men came out. Okay, so she was one of the two women that was in the Weather Girls with It's Raining Men. And then in the 80s, CNC Music Factory had a string of hits, but anyhow, Gonna Make You Sweat, like, she's that voice. And in fact, it was like this big scandal because they put, it was Zelma Davis, something like that. They put like this young kind of like thin person, this woman, she's actually very pretty, in the video, and kind of was like as the
singing
front person, but
and it wasn't her.
It was
singing.
Martha Wash's like powerhouse voice that was coming out, and anyhow, but she also she sang "Strike It Up" with Black Box, and I mean, and then I mean, she's had like so many songs that are just these club hits, but she's also like known for being like a gospel singer. I mean, she's got like gospel music too. And so even though she like is, has these kind of like club hits that, are really heard throughout the gay community, she also has that side of her as well. I know that like she and RuPaul are like, tight, and he always kind of talks about and praises her on Drag Race, which is great. Yeah. But
I think she's been on Drag Race, hasn't she?
She has, yeah. She was a judge. Okay, so anyhow, so Martha Wash was there, and the whole point of the story is that, I'll tell you. Anyhow, I don't want to give too much away. Okay, so Martha Wash is there, and she's doing like some of her songs that she's really known for. But like when it comes to the stuff like CNC Music Factory, I kind of wondered if she didn't have the rights to do like all the music, because she's only singing like part of it like backup.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like on those songs, it's just like her portion of it. It's like all the do, yeah, and like all this like Gonna Make You Sweat, just that
we're
part.
Like, where's the rest of the song?
It's only like half the song, and but it was still great. Like, it was still great. That's not a complaint. And
I'm not complaining.
No.
But where's the song?
Okay, so we're hanging out at the club, and like we're drinking like fish, because this is like, I don't even know, 10, 15 years ago. And then we went outside, and there was a meet and greet, and you could get her to sign one of her CDs, and I think it was like $10 or $15, and we're like standing in line to get like.
Did you buy one of her CDs?
Hell yeah, because I wanted to meet her, and no, I don't have any CDs. I import everything.
You gotta have a CD player.
Like, no, I don't have a CD player. Okay, but like we're standing in line to get our autograph and get a photo with Martha. And like Matthew Rush, the adult film star, is like standing behind us in the line. And
was he really?
Yes, he was. This is the kind of stuff that you see at Parliament House. It's like you get like, people in the porn industry there, and then like, I don't know, like anyhow. So like we're standing there, and like, I don't know, we're waiting our turn to kind of get up there. I have been drinking all night, okay? All night. And anyhow, I guess I didn't really realize maybe how lit I was, but I was. And so then we finally get up to like, you know, it's like my turn to take a photo, and I'm like a little worse for wear. And I mean, even in the photo, like I look obliterated. I'm like so drunk. And then I've got a beer in my hand.
Oh, you look terrible.
I got a beer in my hand that's like almost ready to pour out. And when I got down there, she was so sweet and so like nice and like, I don't know. And I get up there.
Did you talk to her?
And I'm like a trash box. And yeah, well, I got up there and without even thinking, like, I don't know, like I think I was just drunk enough, without even thinking, I said, and for anybody that's if there's somebody with kids listening to this, I'm about to say a bad word. I get up there to meet her, and anyhow, I said, I am so fucking excited to meet you. Like a big piece of garbage. I'm like,
and she's probably like, oh, he smells like
no,
liquor.
I mean, here I am like drunk, and it's like just this trash box, and it's like, and she's like, you know, she's like sings gospel, and
She's
it's like, I'm sure there's kind of like a religious background too. And
a gospel singer.
no, and here I am getting up there, and she still was like very sweet about the fact that I'm like a piece of trash, and I'm like, you know, whatever.
Oh, whatever.
And no, I really was. This is like sliding around. I mean, she really was like so sweet. She was like, let's just take this picture, baby.
Yeah, let's just get done.
And so then, so we took the picture, and I was very grateful, and I think I apologized, but I don't know.
You
I was just excited, and I was drunk. And so then,
I was excited and I was
whenever
drunk.
we would leave Parliament House, we would always go to the IHOP. There's this IHOP that we would go to, and so anyhow, so we're sitting there still, like a little worse for wear, but you know, I gotta straighten this. It's gonna drive me crazy.
100% worse for wear.
Well, okay, so here we are at this IHOP, and I'm sitting there, and this is like maybe, I don't even know, like an hour later, and I'm like, all of a sudden this person comes in, and I was like, man, I'm like, that lady looks so familiar to me. I'm like, why do I know that person? Like, how do I know this lady? And I'm like,
how do I know her?
Well, no, because like I'm out of town, and I was like, I don't know. I'm like sitting there like kind of pondering it, and then I realized that it's Martha Wash. And she came in and sat down, and
she sat right behind us.
She sat like, well, she was right behind you, but she was right in front of me. So I'm sitting there staring at her as she's ordering her, you know, breakfast at 3 a.m. or something. So anyhow, it was kind of great. I wish that I wanted to walk back over again and apologize.
Do you feel like you should?
I just left her.
Do you feel like you should say an apology to her now?
I honestly don't. I mean, there's like 3 people that are actually going to watch this, so no, I don't need to say my apologies.
But I'm sorry.
No, the only thing I would say is just how incredible and amazing. It's like, honestly, we could put her music on,
and we actually just had her on.
We were just listening to it.
We just had her on,
which made me like even more think about this. But so anyhow, so yeah, so that's the time that I dropped the F-bomb in front of Martha Wash. All right, that's it. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching.